Geeks, Adam here coming at you with another Wizard haul video. Yes, this haul today is all about Wizard magazine, some pack-in items, and maybe a little special extra treat. Excited to show you what has come into the archives recently. First up here, I want to show you this. The first issue of Wizard Edge magazine featuring Dawn on the cover. Yes, so this was Wizard's attempt to kind of grab the independent market. You know, it had already been covered for many years in the pages of the magazine, but say, why don't we just dedicate a whole magazine every month or quarterly or whenever this was coming out and see how it fared with people who just wanted independent comics. So it's kind of interesting to look here. You got Strangers in Paradise on the back, but this was coming out in 2002, telling us the 80s boom. Yes, it was rolling on, so I thought that was kind of cool. Next up here, though, I was able to pick up recently a lot of pack-in books, basically, that came with Wizard magazine. One of those was the Undertaker Zero issue, okay? So there he is, the dead man himself. But what was cool about this, you see here the Undertaker comic book that was coming out at the time. What I didn't remember is that this was put out by Chaos Comics. So Lady Death, Evil Ernie, they could have had a crossover with The Undertaker. Did they? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in a future issue. Here we have a Deadpool Zero issue. So there he is fighting some old school heroes. And so that's kind of interesting. Look on the back here, they got a little horizontal. So that's kind of cool. All right, next one here, very unique. Yes, the Wu-Tang Zero issue, the Tales of the Wu-Tang, or 9 Rings of the Wu-Tang, my bad. But yes, Wu-Tang was very big, but this was all in the build-up to Wizard 2000, so everybody was getting excited there. Now, this is one that I've been chasing for a little while, so I'm glad we finally got it, and that is Cerebro's Guide to the X-Men, which was an exclusive Wizard issue, as you see up there. So there was some stuff going on at this time. Look at this cool Hulk ad there. Anyway, I think it's kind of neat. Inside, I like looking at these because they often have an ad for the issue. So there you go right there. You see that we're telling you that there was an issue with some free Kiss stickers. I can tell you I have a guest that's been in the works for over a year who's going to be joining us when we get to that issue when McFarlane started publishing Kiss comics. That was a big deal for me. All right, get back to Dawn, though. Here we go with just a Genesis edition Wizard issue of Dawn here. So not a zero issue, not a half issue. But yeah, there you go. Some Joseph Michael Lisner art there. Here's another one. I remember this came packed in. An Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me book in collaboration with New Line Cinema. But of course, speaking of McFarlane, there are those Austin Powers action figures. That was a big deal. Oh, look, you even get a pin up there, so with a little Wizard branding. Was that an exclusive Wizard still? I don't know. This is one I wasn't sure about, if this came in Wizard or not. I'm going to assume it did, just because it came in this lot, but Future Cop LAPD from Wildstorm? This is not something I've ever heard of, but it's got Ron Lim involved here. They give you a schematic for this vehicle that they're traveling around in, so that's going to be interesting to dig into as we do our research and find out what was coming in those later issues of the magazine. Here's another one here, though. This was coming out around the time of Wizard number 118, and I believe this cover we recently just added to the archives. As you can see, the Marvel Knights Return to the Punisher, but this is talking all about the new X-Men, right? That was a big deal. The new costumes, the new art look, the new writing, chores being handed off to somebody, so that's really interesting. This is another one, I don't know if this has anything to do, I don't think so, with the Wizard contest where you could design a Captain America cover. But here we have a Captain America versus Baron Zemo, but it's number 2. But also, this is a tie-in to the Marvel Superheroes adventure game, okay? So there you get a better look there, which I'm assuming that was just an update of the old one from the 80s and early 90s, because I remember going to hobby shops where I bought my Marvel trading cards, and they would always have the role-playing game there. So, interesting to find that. Now, also was able to pick up a handful of Wizard half issues. I was bidding on a whole bunch of them. I did not get them all, but I got as many as I could, and so I was excited to see this. Divine Right. Now, again, this is like kind of an infamous deal, but I was recently looking at some back issues at a comic book store while I was on the road. You go back and see my 4th of July freaking fantastic haul video, and I saw a bunch of issues of Divine Right, but they were kind of pricey. Like, I didn't pick them up because I was just like, that's gonna cost too much to gather there, and I don't know if it's worth it. So when we get down the line to covering that, at least we have the half issue. And here we have the Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron half issue. Now, I'm almost certain Wizard was reporting on this as a tie-in with Kellogg's cereal that you could send away for a special issue, and it sounds like they then just took that same issue and made it into a half comic. So that kind of cracked me up, because I was just like, that cover looks very familiar to a news blurb I saw in the junk drawer section of Wizard. Here's a really big one, though. Yeah, Nightwing half. Just look at that. Chuck Dixon writing that story, just sticking with what he knew. But that's pretty epic to get a Nightwing half. This is one that I don't know too much about. Top Cow, a very big deal, obviously, going all throughout the 90s. So Arcanum. Arcanum? I don't know. I know Arcane Arts, so maybe it's Arcanum. But I'll be interested to find out what all was going on there. You see the Darkness, you see Witchblade still, all the Top Cow superstars. Here's one, though. Gambit half. What is going on here? Really, what is going on here? Because he's fighting aliens, he's got armor on, but he's still got the cards or some card facsimile that he is using. I really don't know what Gambit was doing at this time. They thought the trench coat wasn't cool anymore? We'll find out. Finally here, this is a big one. I thought this was awesome to find. I was surprised I won this, because I feel like a lot of her comics go for a lot more. But the Spider-Girl half issue. I've been picking up some of the M2 Universe comics in back issue bins, so I'm looking forward to when that drops in our Wizard timeline to really getting into that world, because it's something I've only read, like the Spider-Girl trade I have, and I want to understand more about J2 and all the others, so that'll be cool. All right. So that's all I have for comics, for printed media, right? The way that we most enjoyed our Wizard information. But there was something very, very special that I'd been keeping an eye on for a while, and then it ended up, I was able to get a smoking deal on this thing. It is a Wizard exclusive item. Yes, that is the Fantastic Four She-Hulk repaint variant, okay? Certified authentic by Wizard. Yes, so this is fully collectible, guys, and it's fully articulated. But this is just very cool because I have, let me just grab it here. So I have, I'm knocking stuff over, guys. This is a very delicate balance in my room here with my displays. But see, I have the original Incredible Hulk She-Hulk release. I actually have the box and everything too, but it's been opened. But so to get this version of it, I was very excited to find it. But what else is there? Yes, you might notice this little box up here. What does that have to do with anything? Authenticated signature by John Buscema. Yes, John Buscema, who did the original She-Hulk, Savage She-Hulk, right? Art on that cover. So that is a very big deal to get that. Although it is strange because John Byrne is the one that put her in the Fantastic Four. So shouldn't Byrne have signed it? Whatever. You know, I'm getting a little bit. I do love the authenticated Wizard hologram seal there. But also on the back, apparently they were doing this with all sorts of characters, okay? So, I mean, you got Brian Polino signing an Evil Ernie. Who else do we have here? Larry Stroman doing his new version of the Multiple Man. Who did Firestar? John Romita Jr., okay. Bullseye was Klaus Janson. Joe Mad signing Kitty Pryde. By the way, we have the Kitty Pryde that was the Toy Fair exclusive, so it's just funny that they were kind of grabbing all their exclusives, like, how do we repackage them? Get signatures on them! So that's pretty crazy. And Jeff Johnson signing a Wonder Man. Wonder Man, not a big deal, but coming up with his own Disney Plus series, might want to get your hands on that one, guys. But anyway, this is a very fun addition to my collection. I'm so excited to add this piece of Wizard history, this piece of Wizard hoopla, what they were famous for. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me for this haul video. More to come for sure. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube so you don't miss any of our special videos. But also make sure you're subscribed to the podcast on your podcast catcher of choice. And we will check in with you soon with more 90s comic book nostalgia. But in the meantime, keep your books bagged and boarded.